All right, let's go over this test review. Number one, an accessibility modifier is private by default, which means if you don't put in public or private or protected or internal, you put in none of them, it's as though you put in private. So number one is private. Number two, a method can return 0 or 1 values. And methods can call or invoke other methods. So it's 0 or 1 and invoke for number two. Number three, arrays are passed. That's an entire array is passed by reference. The opposite of by reference is by value. But arrays are passed by reference, which means that the entire or that the address of the array is passed. All right. Number four, that's a big one. I'll let you write those down. That's two different questions on the test. Everybody have that? Yes? Number five, a method that uses another method is called a client of the method it uses, and I even pointed it out in the book when we talked about that. So number five is client. Number six, again, I pointed that out in the book, but this is taken right from the book. right, number 7, another long one. Might be easier to show it to you like this. Okay, number 8. I put an example in there so you could, hopefully it would all make sense. There's nothing like that on the test, but like I said, I put it in there so you could see everything that was being referred to in there. So that would be a method. Oh, that should be B. Thank you. Hey, wonders of copy and paste. I screwed up. Okay. Number 9. That's 2 different questions on the test. Don't worry about a default argument as far as you say, well, what does that mean? That's more in Chapter 8. I don't know why she put that in here, but she did. If I was writing a program for Rankin Technical College and I wanted to set a default value for the state, what would I set the default value to? What state do most people who go to this school live in? So that's an example of a default value right there. So if you get that, you'll understand default values. All right, number 10, via the return statement. There's number 10. Not only is control sent back to the calling method, but if you're going to send a value back, it's also sent back through the return statement. All right, number 11. Okay, number 12, brackets. So just a set of brackets. If that's hard to read, you know, again, they're just saying a left bracket and a right bracket. Okay, that's what this is. $13. I don't know why they're giving you another question like that, but they did. Number 14, it's a long one. I'll just leave it up there for a minute or two. And the last one was the one with all the definitions, and I'll just leave that up there. Remember, tomorrow we will do the same thing, but with Chapter 8. Then on Thursday, a couple of you have emailed me about problems that you're having with Chapters 5 and 6. So whatever problems that you had, we'll go over those on Thursday. And then Friday will be the hands-on for 5 and 6. Any questions on that? I will let you know. I think I've got the test here. I can even let you know by the end of the period what's on there.
Chapter 7 needs for the written test to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
The what?
Chapter 7 and Chapter 8 written tests.
That'll be a week from Friday. That's the way we've been doing them. All right.
No, the written, not the written.
Oh, the written, yeah, they'll be like, yeah, probably next Tuesday and Wednesday or something like that. Does everybody have all these? If you're still working on them, it's okay. Just let me know. Okay, do you need it? Otherwise, do you need any of the earlier ones? All right, I'll put that up in a second then. And I'll tell you what, since some of you are finished already, I'll pass these back. As always, please return them by the end of the period. Yep, can't plug it in. Yeah, a couple of those questions were just set up in such a way that it was very hard to. I accepted a couple different answers. Talk about those in just a second. No, that's no problem. Everybody's got all those definitions? Dominic wanted me to go back to question 4. Anybody else have any other ones? Any other earlier ones that you need shown again? On the test, just so you know, couple things. Let's see. On the second page, I don't know why, but for number 17, she had a search in which each array element is examined in order as called. She had parallel in there. Most of you put sequential, and that's what I would have put. So I took either one. Number 17 on the test that I just handed back. So I took either sequential or parallel. I don't know why, but I thought that in essence is what, sequential was, but whatever. All right. On the fill in the blank answers on page 3, the first one was subscript, but you could have used index or whatever. The second one, only one person just put array, but it's system.array because I gave you credit for it anyway. Initializer list was the third one. Length was the fourth one. The last one was parallel. If you didn't put parallel or that, then you got points taken off. All right. And on the back page, I allowed, number 36 was matrix. And a couple of years, I don't remember which one it was, but I allowed you to put them in two different ones. Let's put it that way. As always, if you have any questions on these, or if you want to fight with me on a point or whatever, you can. Yes, sir. What was 5?
Let's fight.
Let's fight on which one?
Number 3.
Number 3. When you instantiate an array, you can choose its location in memory.
Instantiate's not on the study guide.
Is what?
Instantiate's not on the study guide.
It was not on the study guide? No, we talked but if you remember, when I put that up this morning, one of the things I said this morning was that you cannot choose where in memory the array is going to be put. That's why I tried to make sure I took it from here rather than from the study guide. All right, everybody has those? Okay, then if you have, I'm going to make this 5 minutes long. This handout that I gave you this morning, okay? I'm going to bring it up. I think it's here. It's not there. I think that's this one, but we'll find out. So you have just a hard copy of this, but I'm going to run it for you. And you'll notice this is very similar to one we looked at the other day. There are 10 numbers in the array, so that's generating them. It's finding the lowest. It's finding the sum. The highest should have been in there, but I don't know where it disappeared to. It's finding the average. It's sorting them in descending order. It's sorting them in ascending order. And now that I've got this, if I want to look, for example, I'm going to put in 73 for the number to search for, and that should be at location 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 73, and it's in location 7. Make sense? I don't want to have to run it again. No, I guess I got to break out of it that way, whatever. All right, one thing I didn't put in here, and I should have, evidently in the thing with the highest, where's the lowest? I somehow removed that right line statement. So I'm going to copy it down from here. Now it should write both the lowest and the highest. There's the lowest, there's the highest, good. All right.
Average is still 0.
Well, then something screwed up there too. Let's see if we can fix that. Sum. Oh, I know what it is. Okay. I didn't call the sum first. So what I could do here is just say, but that doesn't return anything. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll call sum first. There's ways around that, but I'd have to put in a flag and do some other stuff. I'm not going to do that. Oh, it's not returning anything. Okay. I am going to have to do it like that then. Why don't you look at this? Maybe you'll get something out of it. I don't know. Brady's right. The way that this is written right now, I'm calling the average routine, and I'm saying the average is equal to the sum divided by the length, which is correct. Unfortunately, sum is something I should have made. That's probably the easiest way to do it, just make it global.
It's only in that routine right now.
Yeah. In fact, it is up here. I should have removed the line. That was probably why I did it that way. So let's look now. There we go. All right, so if you please look on the handouts I gave you. All right? And if you go down to, I don't know, it must be somewhere around, because I moved stuff around a little, but somewhere around line 140. Right at the beginning of the determine and display sum, there's a line in there that says int sum equals 0. Cross it out. In this routine right here, you've got something at the beginning that says this. You've got something that says, on your handout, it says int sum equals 0. That line. Take that line right there and get rid of it, because it's already declared at the top of the routine. All right, so please get rid of that line. The other thing is, if you look on the determine and display the highest array value, somewhere around line 125 or so, add a right line statement in there, or it won't print out. It's okay, it just won't print out without that. So I added the line that you see there in blue. You don't have to do that, but if you do that, it'll print out the highest. So remove the int sum equals 0 from the sum routine and add the line in blue to your display in the highest routine. Now, if you're still really confused about this stuff, and I probably made it even worse by just making mistakes in there, but if you still are confused, then I'd suggest that you create a new project and you key this in. The second question on your test that you will take is similar to this one. All right? Not this test, but the test that you will take next week.
38.
But what I want you to get out of it is, if you look up on the screen here, notice how main has changed. In main, I'm defining 3 variables: run program again, all right, first char, etc. And now notice what main has. First of all, I've got a loop within a loop, which means I've got nested loops. But notice, all main is doing then is it's calling a routine, it's calling a routine, it's calling a routine, it's calling a routine, calling a routine, etc. Then it's asking if you want to run it again. Main is now basically a driver, which is what you should shoot for main for your programs. So rather than doing all of the work in main, you write routines that do the work. So I've got a routine called fill array, a routine called display array contents, a routine call determine and display lowest array value, a routine call determine and display highest array value, a routine call determine and display sum, one call determine and display average, one call sort and display descending, sort and display ascending, perform binary search. And I also tried, even though some of those method names are long, I tried to set them up so that they would make some sense to you reading them. All right? Last hour and 15 minutes is yours. Again, I know some of you have sent me emails on problems that you're having. I'm going to shut that off because I don't want to share your emails with other people. But we'll deal with that stuff on Thursday. All right? So the next test has two problems on it. One is a console app, one is a GUI app. I give you screenshots of both. All right? The console app asks you basically to create a multiplication table, and the GUI program is very similar to the one I just handed out to you. So that's what you will be doing on Friday.